everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisy Daniel. I'm a personal resilience life coach going on a journey to learn about intermittent fasting, do intermittent fasting, get more fit, eat healthier, and this is month number 9. Wow, it's been a long journey, but I have surely enjoyed it. You might notice that the background looks a little bit different. This is normally where I stand for these exercise videos. I like to stand in front of my treadmill, but the treadmill isn't here. And the reason it's not here is because on Friday the 13th of this past month, March, Friday the 13th, at 2:30 in the morning, a hose in my bathroom under the sink broke and water flooded my cottage where I live. Oh yes. Actually, that's the first day also that they put a restriction with the coronavirus pandemic and sent kids home. That Friday was the last day of school. And so all of this happened in one day. I'm slowly getting my life back in order. What I was going to talk about this month was body dysmorphia, but I'm going to change it in lieu of what the whole country and the whole world is experiencing right now, which is the coronavirus. That's worldwide. And I know we are all at home. We are all learning different lessons through this. My hat goes off to all the workers out there in the front lines. I can't even imagine what you guys are going through. I read about it on the news and I just pray for you guys. Very, very difficult stuff. I mean, it's still not over. Actually, the worst 2 weeks are yet to come. So we have to pray a lot, ask God to forgive us, get closer to God, all right? Because these are things out of our control. But what I would like to talk about today is how intermittent fasting is helping me during the coronavirus pandemic. Now, I'm actually learning a lot of interesting things. First thing I learned with the flood, everything getting wet in my house and having to pack all my stuff and having to put new carpet in and so on and so forth. The first lesson I learned was that I had so much stuff. So much stuff. Everything right now is packed in boxes. The carpet has been put in this week, so I'm slowly going to start putting my life back in order and unpacking. But I made a pact with myself. I am going to become more of a minimalist. Yes. Actually, not long ago, I watched the documentary called The Minimalist, the two guys that started that little movement. I had never seen it, but I have heard about it. And so I watched it and I found it fascinating. And what I realized was that when I started my journey with the intermittent fasting, I was actually becoming a minimalist with my food intake. Because when you only eat within a certain window, that's all you're allowed to do. And minimalists, people that are minimalists, they only allow themselves to have a certain amount of things. Their house is very cleared of clutter. They have no clutter. Some of them live in very tiny spaces, and they have learned to be happy with what they have. And so what I learned, I guess it was just a thought, was that I have been practicing minimalism with food. That, like I've told you, a lot of these coaching concepts that I teach on these videos transfer over to other areas of your life. So let's say you really don't want to do intermittent fasting. There are still tips and strategies that I share that you could use to transfer over to other addictions, other things you're going through. So what I noticed was that I had trained myself to eat so much less than what I used to eat. And that is why I've lost weight. But here's the beauty of it. When things started getting difficult this past month in March with the coronavirus scare and everything that's going on, it's still going on, and then we had to go shopping and buy the toilet paper that we all wanted and water and food and all those things, I found myself not so nervous as in past years. We live in Florida, so whenever we would get a hurricane, I would get, more anxious and buy more things probably than I needed. But this time around, I really wasn't anxious, and that's because I was practicing minimalism with my food intake, and I wasn't as nervous. Now, obviously, I'm a responsible adult, and I bought enough food for us and everything, but I wasn't concerned or overly anxious about it. That's the first thing I learned, that I don't have to have a scarcity mentality. I don't have to feel, oh my goodness, this coronavirus is going to destroy everything I have. It has affected finances, it's affected everything. And on top of it, my home flooded, so go figure. God must think I'm a very strong person. And indeed, He has made me strong. And all these experiences make us stronger. So I don't have that scarcity mentality. And even though I might not have a lot of funds right now, and work is up and down, and things are kind of shut down, I'm still working in other ways. I might not be making a whole lot of money, but that's okay. I'm still producing, I'm still creating. And that's the important thing. The second thing I learned was that doing the intermittent fasting, the exercise routine that I've been on, and eating healthier created a routine that now I could continue while being at home. So this lockdown, being stuck in the house, hasn't really affected me a whole lot. The flooding affected me a lot more. And that's because I am used to a routine. So I still do my exercise. I still watch what I eat. As a matter of fact, I'm being more conscious now of what I put in my mouth because I'm home more, and all those yummy snacks I bought for quarantine, they're just calling my name. And I purposely try not to buy many of those things. And enough to maybe last 2 months if I just have like one little treat here and there. And so I'm spreading it out. I'm even noticing that I'm being careful with the water intake. So I'm also having other forms of drink like milk and juice mixed with water. But I'm also conserving the water in case this goes on for over a month, which I think it is. So I have planned accordingly. And because I was under that kind of regimented lifestyle already, I have not experienced the scarcity mentality, and I've been able to focus on more important things, which is great. Now, I did have a high this month. I realized with everything going on, and I thought about it more than once, that I'm so glad that I broke up with my best friend of 45 years. And that was Coca-Cola. For those of you that didn't see that video, I'll put it down in the show notes in case you want to watch it. But on December 31st, 2019, I broke up with Coca-Cola on Facebook Live. And I'm so glad that I did. I've kept my promise to myself. I'm not going back because it really was, I wouldn't say an addiction, but a codependent relationship for sure. And if right now, going through these stressors, I was still drinking Coca-Cola, you better believe I would have bought cases and cases and cases of Coca-Cola, and that's just not would have been good for me because I never liked how I felt after I drank the Coca-Cola. Some of you might feel that way with alcohol. You might drink alcohol and it might make you feel good for a little while, but then afterwards you're like, man, why did I do that? I don't drink alcohol, but I know a lot of people do to de-stress. So you could use the same strategies to quit the things. Right now is a good time, believe it or not. When you're going through stress, instead of leaning into your addictions and the things that give you pleasure, do the opposite. Start training yourself to do the opposite. And I started doing that in the summer with the intermittent fasting, and I'm so glad I did. Now, I did have a little low. I wouldn't really consider it a low, but just a thought. And the thought popped into my head that, and it was a scarcity mentality thought, and the thought was this: oh man, I lost all this weight now. I don't have a lot of fat on the land in case things get really ugly in the United States and things shut down and I run out of food, and then so I went and I looked up a weight chart to see how low I could actually go, because I judge more by what I see. Several charts said that I could go as low as 94 pounds for my height. Other ones said 104. I'm going to stick with the 104 because I can't even imagine what I would look like if I was 94 pounds. I can't even imagine that. So right now, I could spare, well, I might as well tell you how much weight I lost this month. I usually leave that for the end, but I did lose 1 pound. So I am at 110.8 ounces. My goal was 110. And if you remember from many months back, my goal originally was 113. But because I kept fluctuating up and down a pound, I said, you know what? I'm going to bring it back 3 pounds so that I have a 3-pound buffer. And those 3 pounds will always be my gauge to go ahead and do the things I've been doing when I see me slipping up. So I do want to reach the 110. I'm 8 ounces away. Next month, guys, hopefully. I know that things are going to work out in the end. As long as I do the best I can, follow the authority, what they're saying to do, follow the best practices for coronavirus. And a lot of that you have to do on your own too, because they don't always give you the facts 100% because they don't know either. They're trying to figure it out. I realized on that chart that if the lowest I could go is 104, I have 6 pounds buffer. Oh man. But if I really have to, I guess I could go down to 94, but that would be like totally sickly state. And then I would have to, but that, like I said, that's scarcity mentality. That's thinking like I have no food, right? And I have to live off the fat of the land. So it was a quick little low, and then it went out the window because I don't think we're going to experience that. God forbid, I hope not. So then I had an epiphany. Here was my epiphany. I had been riding my bike and going out for walks in parks. Like they said, we were kind of in lockdown, but we were allowed to walk around and stay 6 feet away from each other. But people were still going out and about. So it was kind of a loose type, well, not really a lockdown, but, you know, the social distancing thing. And the more research I did, and they talked about how even with speaking, the sickness could linger in the air for up to 3 hours. I've read many reports on that. So I said, you know what? I'm not even going to ride my bike anymore. Because I'll be out there, you know, with the sun shining, riding my bike, opening my mouth nice and wide. Woo! What a beautiful day. Oh, I hear the birds, hearing my music. And who knows? Other people are doing the same thing. And all that coronavirus is lingering in the air. No, thank you. So I just gave that up. So what I told you last month that I was going to do was work on my shuffle dancing, my shuffle footwork, and I'm getting good, guys. I'm getting a little good. And one of these days, I'm going to surprise you with a TikTok video, and you're going to see my exquisite footwork. Yeah, right now I'm training myself with what they call cutting shapes, and I'm not good at it yet, but I will be. I will be. Yes, I will. I'm going to put down in my show notes the choreographer that I really like, the channel for his YouTube. He goes by SteamzAus. He's out of Australia. His name is Harrison, and he's my absolute favorite. So this is what I've been doing with my workouts. And I've been doing it here with no furniture around, no empty house pretty much, until my life gets back together. But even with that, I've been exercising. What I will do is I will watch his tutorials and I'll put it on loop, to loop 2 times. Each video is about 5 minutes. And on each video, he shows you 3 different foot shuffle dances, which is an amazing workout. And I put it a little slower because it's very fast, the footwork. And I'll do the 2 rounds of it. Then I'll stop it and I'll put my music on and I'll do some strength training exercise. Then I go to his number 2 tutorial. Do the same thing. Put it on loop, put it a little slower. I put it on 0.75 and I do it twice. Then I do some more floor exercises. And then I do his 3rd video, put it on loop, watch it twice, and do some more floor exercises. And that has made the hour go by. I've added a 4th video just to complete the 60 minutes, and it's been great. I am really enjoying it. It's something I look forward to every morning when I wake up. And I wake up fasting, so I don't eat till 11 o'clock. Check out those foot shuffle dances and see if it's something you'd want to incorporate into your workout. So my quote for today is this. It's by the Minimalists. And those of you that are not familiar with the Minimalists, there are two friends that started this concept many years ago. And here's the quote: "We move closer to what we love when we walk away from what we don't." And that was said by the minimalist. And I love that. When we walk away from the things we don't love, we will get closer to the things we do love. And I have been super pleased with this journey I've been on. For those of you that want to grow your gray hair out, I'm also going on that journey. That's on a different playlist. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be bringing a lot of different videos, especially life coaching videos, to help share awareness and help you guys. If you are in need of a personal resilience life coach, go ahead to my website. I will put that in the show notes as well, and sign up for a free consultation. Yes, I would love to meet you and talk with you. All right, please, please, please wear your masks when you go out in public. Until all of this is over, hit subscribe, give me a like, and share this if you please. Have a great time and stay safe, everybody. See you soon. Bye.